MAGA Mike Johnson is in full panic mode as he is preparing to be fired, and Donald Trump seems to be doing everything possible to ensure that that becomes the reality. Donald Trump promoting endless wars, promoting data centers in your community, and promoting more tariffs to cause inflation to increase and make the cost of living impossible, while Donald Trump says the word affordability is a made-up word. Folks, in the latest Emerson poll, and the Emerson polling crew, very reliable. They have Democrats up right now for the midterms with an 11-point generic ballot lead. Let me repeat that. In a generic ballot for the midterms, a generic Democrat beats a generic Republican by 11. And the Democrats who are running are more than just generic. And the MAGA Republican candidates, these Trump bootlickers, are like the most detested and despised human beings on planet Earth right now, not just in the United States. So MAGA Mike looks at that poll and he's like, not good. What about Fox? What about state regime media? Well, MAGA Mike, based on that poll, the generic Democrat beats the generic Republican by +7. And that's one of the biggest leads in the generic Fox poll since 1996. Fox has never seen any party heading into the midterms at this time have a lead the way the Democrats have this lead over Republicans right now. Also, you take a look at some of the crosstabs in that Emerson poll. How about data centers? Right now, data centers in your community, it has about a 27% approval of people saying, by the way, I want to meet those 27% who goes, please put data centers in my backyard. But by the way, that's what Donald Trump was saying yesterday. Donald Trump did a whole event where he's like, wherever I go, people want data centers in their backyard. Vote Republicans in the midterms and we will bring data centers, more war, more tariffs. That's the Republican way. And MAGA Mike's like, can we not talk about any of this, please? What are we doing right here? Also, the candidates that MAGA Mike is endorsing right now, like that MAGA Republican in Texas, Brandon Herrera, calling for Social Security to be abolished. And he refers to children as, quote, cum trophies. That's how he refers to children as. I'll show you what he says in just a minute. Like, what the hell are you saying, Ben? Yeah, I'll show you that in a moment. MAGA Mike Johnson was asked the other day, hey, MAGA Mike, what do you think about Donald Trump's new initiative to? MAGA Mike's like, please, I don't know, be something about affordability. Please, 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 we're getting crushed. We're getting crushed. What did Donald Trump want to do? Truth Social, you know, his social media company that's failing. Yeah. You know how he posts this information and it moves the stock market and manipulates it. And he's done 21,000 trades and enriched himself by creating dips, screwing the American people. Yeah. Okay. Well, on Trump media, on Truth Social, he wants to sell early access to his market manipulation to Wall Street firms. MAGA Mike, what do you have to say about that? I don't know anything about that. What are we talking about? I don't know. I don't know anything about the legality or ethics of that. I never heard about any of that. Here, play this clip of MAGA Mike running away from Manu Raju and other reporters. Here, play this clip.
Truth Social is offering quicker access to the president's posts by if Wall Street firms spend money for those posts. Are you concerned about the possible conflict of interest here?
It's the first I've heard of that. I don't even know what Truth Social is offering this.
It's like the Wall Street firms, yeah, essentially for the president's market-moving posts.
I don't have any legal opinion on that. I don't know anything about it.
You have the Stock Act on the floor. Why not include the president's trades? Because he is, clearly getting richer in some areas here.
I'm not going to address something that I have not even looked into.
Mr. Speaker, what just happened on the floor there? Did you promise Congresswoman Luna and Congressman Burchett anything this week to get their vote?
No.
All right. Now, our intrepid journalistic team at the MeidasTouch Network unearthed some of these clips of Brandon Herrera, the MAGA Republican candidate in Texas right now. He calls children cum trophies. That's the way he refers to children as. Here, play this clip.
Now directly to Shannon Watts. Hi, Shannon. Longtime viewer, first-time caller. First off, I want to get it off my chest. I think moms demand action is fucking stupid. Being a mother doesn't make your opinion any more or less valid. Just because you let somebody cream pie you doesn't mean I have to give a shit about your political opinions. The fact that you kept your cum trophy doesn't make you any less wrong about the dumb shit that you say.
And here that same guy is talking about abolishing Social Security. Then they'll go back, oh, he was just joking. He didn't really mean it. Yeah, here, play this clip.
Where do we go from there?
I don't know.
Hear me out. Let's abolish Social Security.
Jesus I'm game. You mean the literal Ponzi scheme?
Yeah. 100%. No, I did. That was my next frag grenade into Twitter.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's why I was like, wait, why? I was like, oh, and then you get to see everyone's like, blah, 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 blah. My favorite was like the top one's like, it's not taxes. It's like, huh? What?
You mean when the government didn't trust anybody to actually save for their own retirement? So they said, okay, we're going to force you to save for your own retirement, but they didn't put it in your own account or anything. They just put it into a general slop fund that constantly gets raided and devalued. And so now it's going to be bankrupt in the next 10 years because the fucking government can't handle anything.
I've got some breaking news I want to share with you, so let me interrupt for just a minute. Trump just posted a rant defending data centers right after Kathy Hochul signed the nation's first ever statewide data center moratorium. This post may as well have been written by a data center itself. He called them liquid gold, bashed Hochul as political, and claimed that these companies pay for their own water and power. Now, let's just fact check this in real time. Hochul's order pauses new permits for large data centers for up to a year. It's not a permanent ban, so that New York can build real protections for ratepayers, the grid, and water supply before more of these facilities get built. Her response to Trump was blunt. She said, quote, "We hit pause because the communities powering AI should share in its success." And now here's what Trump left out. Nationally, the grid operator serving 13 states found that data centers caused 63% of last year's massive spike in power costs. That's $9.3 billion dumped onto ratepayers, not tech companies. Capacity prices in that region jumped 833% in a single year. Some families are already paying an extra $18 a month just from data center demand. And separately, Trump's own energy policies have already cost the average household over $2,000, with electricity bills up 18% since he took office. Then there's water. A single large data center can drink up to 5 million gallons a day. And in Texas alone, a state that Trump name-checked in that post, data centers are projected to use nearly 400 billion gallons of water a year by 2030. So when Trump says that data centers are a win for everyone, ask the person paying the electric bill. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think of data centers and their impact on the environment and your bills? Do you want to see data centers in your community? What are your thoughts on the Trump administration's climate policy? Sound off right now in the comments below and make your voices heard. Okay, Ben, back to you.
Right now, yesterday at Donald Trump's press conference, he called for data centers in everyone's backyards. Liquid gold, he says. You want to get rich? Do data centers in your backyard. Donald Trump says he will help get those data centers right there in your backyard. Here's what Trump says.
And even communities compared to other communities. You have some communities that really want this. This isn't all negative stuff. You have communities that really want the data centers. And frankly, those are the smart communities because it means tremendous numbers of jobs, very little actual disruption. And the ones that don't want it, the happiest people in the world are foreign countries, number one, and number two, other communities within our country because they're begging for them to be there. And some of them are great communities, very, very forward-looking communities, very smart communities.
Now, here is the polling yesterday as well from CNN, from Harry Enton. And he's like, the most bizarre thing is Donald Trump keeps on going back to these tariffs. The American people hate these tariffs. They know that it's not the country that's being tariffed that pays it. They know that it's the American company, the importers that pay it, and it's passed on to consumers. Everybody knows these tariffs are bad. Like originally, Donald Trump conned a lot of people, and they believed that these tariffs would be helpful. By the way, I don't know who the hell would believe that. I was warning you. Not you, but those people. And anyway, now everybody hates these tariffs because they know it's one of the main causes of inflation. So is this catastrophic war. So is all of this horrific, horrific stuff that Donald Trump did. Let me be clear one more time before playing this. Former President Biden handed Donald Trump what right-wing Wall Street Journal, The Economist, periodicals, newspapers like that called it the Goldilocks economy. They said America's economy was the envy of the world. Let me be clear, though. There's still a lot to be critical of. It was not working for every American. We shouldn't be a spike the football moment. But by the way, Biden said this is not a spike the football moment. He talked about how Build Back Better and the CHIPS Act and all of these things was part of a structural plan to bring back manufacturing jobs. It would take place over time, but Biden created nearly 1 million manufacturing jobs. Donald Trump has lost 75,000 manufacturing jobs. Donald Trump has brought us into this economic catastrophe when all he had to do was kind of do nothing and let Biden's economy be on autopilot, and interest rates would have probably dropped 3 consecutive times, which would have been great for mortgage rate. There's so much that could happen. But Trump tariffed the world, got involved in putting the world in all these world wars at this point. There's wars here, there's wars there, there's wars everywhere right now. But watch how Harry Enten describes this. And this is why the Americans are going to vote these people out. I think the Democrats are going to take the Senate and not just the House also, because I just think that it's not even a political thing. I just think that people are like, we need to put people in the House and the Senate who will hold this fascist regime accountable. Like, this is some existential stuff right now. And, you know, people are like, we need people in there who just stop this fascist regime in the executive branch. I think that's the wave we're gonna see. I think people are underestimating this tsunami, because let me give you this other data point as well right now. Let me give you this other data point as well. Did I play the tariff clip? If I didn't, let's play it.
I feel like I'm in bizarro world, okay? Because the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again and hope for a different result. And that is just simply put not been the case with President Trump in terms of the train has left the station and the American people have spoken. They hate these new tariffs. U.S. on new tariffs on imported goods. You know, you go back to November of 2024. Look, 52% of Americans favored him right after Donald Trump's election, 48% opposed. But then we entered the real world in tariffs and Americans saw the effects of them. What happened to the opposition to new tariffs? Up like a rocket. We're talking 63% of Americans now oppose the idea of new tariffs compared to just 37% who favor it. So the bottom line is this. The American people have seen what tariffs have done to the economy, and they simply put do not like it and have turned against the President of the United States, who, as I said, it feels like bizarre world because from a political standpoint, it is absolutely insanity that keeps trying to do something that the American people clearly very much do not like.
Bizarre world also because there is a red sun, but that's another.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
All right.
Superman.
And the president's approval rating, how has it been? Or how has it sort of mirrored the tariff situation?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, the tariffs were what set Donald Trump off on a pathway to nowhere, on a pathway to a presidency that is a dead end. Take a look at this. Trump's negative net approval rating. Every single poll since March 29, 2025, that is over a year ago, in fact, days in a row, it's 482 days in which every single poll that meets CNN standards for publication, Donald Trump has had a negative net approval rating. Well, what happened right around March 29, 2025? All polls just before Liberation Day 2025. It was the tariffs. It was the massive implication of those tariffs, the implementation of it, that, of course, many of them got overturned, that turned the American people once and for all against Donald Trump in his second term as president.
But let me give you this data point. Democrats have been overperforming in a lot of these special elections, overperforming by 10 to 15 points, right? That's an objective fact. 10 to 15 points. So if they're overperforming 10 to 15 and the generic has them at plus 11 and they overperform that by 10 to 15, this get plus 30. I mean, you could be talking about a crazy wave right there. Let's just hear from some of the voters right now. Here's a 3-time Trump voter. Let's play this clip.
President Trump campaigned on no more foreign wars. You've obviously supported him.
3 times. Very disappointed. My entire family is very disappointed. I don't feel like it is our war to fight, but here we are. And I did not think when the war started that it was going to be a 12-day, a 2-week, a 2-month. I'm like, here we go. And here we are, and I don't see it ending anytime soon. And I was a Trump supporter. I'm very disappointed.
Here's a voter out in Arizona, hat tip to MS Now with these clips right here, talking about this voter is like on MS Now. She's like, I kind of just wish these politicians just dressed as pirates and said, "Oi, mate, I'm gonna go and take your money. I'm gonna go take your money, mate." Is that what they say? Because at least they'd be saying that I'd respect them. At least they'd be telling me they're pirates. Instead, they act like they're fighting for us and they're stealing from us. They're stealing from us. They're crooks. They're criminals. By the way, they're crooks. They're criminals, and they're freaking predators, right? I mean, they're covering up child sex trafficking rings. You saw that West Virginia GOP also child sex trafficking. I mean, these are some sick humans. There's some sick freaking humans, right? Here, play this clip of that person.
Andy Biggs is leading right now on the Republican side. I'm curious what you make of the election denialism and even voting not to certify the 2020 presidential election.
I would have more respect for our politicians and government leaders if they dressed up as pirates. And then when they came and take our money, they were like, I'm a pirate. Because then we wouldn't have to go through the emotional gaslighting of pretending like they're doing any of this to help us.
Oh, and then you have Tom Homan referring to deportation as deportation maxing. You know, it's like that thing looks maxing with the guy clavicular and these young people. It's like a gender affirming care for men that I don't know. They inject themselves with testosterone. It's called looks maxing, and Tom Homan. Okay, I won't do the Tom Homan impression. I won't do my Tom Homan impression, but Tom Homan, I'm 50-50 with that impression. I won't do it. But Tom Homan's like, I'm going to do deportation maxing. Here, play this clip.
And in June, we had the highest numbers of arrests in the history of the agency, of ICE. And July is tracking to even beat that. So we're hitting on all cylinders now. We're deportation maxing since we're fully funded. And we just got to keep going.
So then that leaves you with state regime media, Fox. How are they trying to help MAGA Mike right now? Well, you've got Laura Ingraham saying AOC is attractive. And she's got long, slick hair and red lipstick. Okay, here, play this clip.
Got to give her credit. She didn't know much, still won. But the fact is, AOC is an attractive millennial with a powerful surface appeal. With her long, sleek raven hair and red lipstick, she's at times played dual roles. Kind of the earnest activist, both up from her bootstraps, who wants to stick it to the man. And then at times, she's kind of played the girly girl who shares her favorite recipe on TikTok.
And then Dan Bongino's like, and she's got gold necklaces. Karl Marx, gold necklaces. Bolsheviks, gold necklaces. Bolsheviks, communism, Bolsheviks. People thought Bolsheviks, communism. Who are these crazy people? Bro, just give us health care, please. Protect the healthcare as a human right. Help make things more affordable. Help housing. Help the cost of living. Stop these endless wars. Stop. Just be normal. What do you talk? Communism, Bolsheviks, crazy humans. Here, play this clip.
Yeah, that's a really valuable question. The answer is the latter. It's not about an agenda. I mean, I can prove it in the segment you just ran. I'm watching it with you. They did that woman on the street interview, and the young lady's like, yeah, I really dig this whole Karl Marx thing. Go back and watch it, folks. Rewind the tape on your DVR. She's got gold chains on. You think Karl Marx was about, she's got gold, look, I'm watching it here laughing. She has 3 gold chains on. You understand Karl Marx was not about private property and about the government control of the means of production that created things. Even farms, forget gold chains. There were no gold chains, only for the demagogues who ran communist systems.
Anyway, there you have it, folks. Let me know. Let me know what you think about all of this. Good things MAGA Mike will get fired soon. MAGA Mike, you're going to get fired soon, MAGA Mike. Can you believe this guy, MAGA Mike, in history? Look back at this vile thing. Anyway, did you, question for you. Did you pre-order WTF America? I think there's a QR code somewhere over here. Pre-order it if you can. It comes out in October, but the pre-orders help with the first week sales a lot. So get some copies for you, get copies for people you know. Pre-order it right now. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Hey, if you want the full story, how democracy got here and how we take it back, pre-order our new book, WTF America, today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.